You're listening to Rock and Roll Specialists with your hosts, Ben Eastman and Jeff Crenshaw. Let's rock.
Hello, I'm Jeff Crenshaw,
And I'm Ben Eastman.
and you're listening to
Rock and roll.
Specialists. You know, I was looking at our podcast website. It's been a while since we've done our last podcast, Ben.
Jeff, I don't think anyone looks at our podcast website. So I think you just told me a lie.
Well, there's one person who does. His name is Jeff Crenshaw. And it turns out that our last podcast was on December 6th, 2020. And the near as I could figure, the only reason that we haven't done a podcast again until now, it's as of right now, it's March 8th. It's about to be 9th. It's almost midnight. But the only reason we haven't done a podcast again until now, since December 6th, is just nothing interesting or worth talking about has happened since then.
Yeah, nothing at all. Not like the fact that you have found the love of your life. Jeffrey Jebediah Crenshaw the 14th has found new love with a kid named
Me and
Bobby.
a kid. Yep, just me and a kid kissing and snuggling and stuff.
Yep.
Just the kid
Me
and I.
just hanging out with good old kid.
Or as
I don't know if I can really condone your relationship with a kid, but
or as I like to call her, KIDD.
Jeff, dang it! I was wanting to keep that joke going longer, and you totally preempted it for the sake of saving yourself on this podcast, in which you're the only person I think that listens to him.
Hey, don't forget Eric Chipotle Man Watson.
Hey, you know what's funny? Last time we did that podcast, we got to do another one with him. And maybe this next time, when he gives us Chipotle, it'll show up in the mail.
Oh,
I don't know.
Oh, dude. I didn't get those Chipotle cards either, but I'm more of a live and let live fellow when it comes to that shit. It's like
I'm not. I was waiting every day at that mailbox for the chance at a free lunch. And you know what they say? There's no such thing as a free lunch. And you know what? I guess that is true. I guess that's
okay,
true.
okay. You listen here, you bastard. That one time I was over visiting Ben, and we were like watching movies and everything, and he said, "Hey Jeff, do you want some like chili and rice? It's a meal we used to eat a lot together. Like we do chili and rice, we do spam and rice. Sometimes we do spam, chili, and rice." And he made it for lunch, which was really nice. And we ate it and stuff. We were watching a movie, and then like we were between movies. I think we were doing like a double feature or something. And I get up to get a drink, and Ben's like, "Hey Jeff, man, would you mind doing the dishes? Like I'm kind of tired from cooking." And I said, "Oh sure, that's cool." And that everything's good up to this point. But where Ben Eastman decides to be a fucking dick is after I agree to do the dishes, he's like, "Yeah, there's no such thing as a free lunch."
Hey, and I still don't have my free Chipotle cards from Eric. So my opinion still stands. There is truly no such thing as a free lunch.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I remember that moment well. I almost felt like David Caruso from CSI Miami. Like I really I really wish I had a pair of sunglasses that I could put on my face and then have like the screaming of "Who are you?" in the background right at that moment. But
Who are you? You know,
But yeah,
we have editing software. You know, it'd be really funny to me for some reason
what?
if we like took the time and took every single episode of CSI Miami, and instead of like "Who Are You" playing every time he puts the glasses on, we replaced it with "Behind Blue Eyes."
Oh man, I actually just had like a moment the other day with that song. Actually, um, I
Tell
was
us about it.
driving, I was driving on the bridge in Astoria, um, and that song came on, and I forgot how I knew every single damn word to that song. And like just as we were like nearing the end of the bridge is the part where it like picks up. When my fist clenches, I shit over. Like that part's so good. Um, it is such a fucking good song. Yeah, that's a great song. And yeah, they use. I'm just always wondering because they're always coming out with new CSIs. They're gonna start running out of Who songs because every single iteration of CSI has a Who song that's like the theme song for it.
You-
So CBS is pulling out probably at least $1 million an episode just to have that theme song in there. I'm sure it's not a million, but I'm sure it's some ungodly amount of money.
that reminds me of I you saying that reminds me. I bet there's like one producer who's like has this weird obsession with the Who, and every single like he produces every single fucking CSI show, and he's like, the Who song for this series is that. The Who song for this series is that. It reminds me of that story Kevin Smith told about when he was going to make Superman, and the producer on that movie wanted him to put in a giant spider, and the guy ended up producing Wild Wild West. And when Kevin Smith was watching Wild Wild West, he's like, wow, this is a piece of shit. And he's just like sitting through it, and then suddenly on the screen, oh, holy shit, that's a giant mechanical spider. Like this one producer had this fixation on this one hypothetical bullshit thing, and, and I think the giant spider to that guy is the Who to the CSI guy.
It's funny when I was even talking about that, the first thing that came to mind was that story, and that's like
Really,
the pinnacle of yeah. No, seriously, I was thinking that too because yeah, exactly. Um,
how do we think the same thing so often?
I don't know. Did we just become best friends? I don't know. Who knows?
Yep.
How many, how many, how many years have I known your ass? I'm trying to think now. We probably first became friends my sophomore year, junior year, or was it right?
Well,
Is
we
that when we became friends?
we started
Like
becoming
became friends,
friends.
like legitimately.
Like we became like I knew of you like back in middle school. 'Cause I
Yeah,
told the
me too.
story before, but like when I was new to Beaverton, well, I was about a year in because when I was brand new, I was in seventh grade, and you would have still been in like elementary school then. But like when I was in
Yeah,
eighth
sixth
grade,
grade, 1 year away.
right? When I was in eighth grade and you were in seventh grade, I remember like you were like the clown on the bus, like the class clown. And I remember you like going to the front of the bus and like turning around to the entire bus. Hey everyone, why does Santa have such a big sack? And so it was like, why? Because he only comes but once a year. Then you got off the
Yeah,
bus.
I definitely know that I didn't make that joke in high school. You fucker. That
You
was
did.
after high school.
No,
No
no, that
fucking
was on the
way.
school bus. I remember it
Yeah,
vividly.
I
And I think
I
it was
did
middle school.
not.
I
I
think
did not. I
yes, you
did
did.
not.
You had your little
I
short
didn't
little
even
haircut.
know. I didn't even know what the word "cum" meant in middle school. Okay,
Well, I don't know. Maybe it was
don't
in high school.
lie.
It was on
Don't
the.
lie to fit your narrative. Eric still hasn't given us Chipotle, and you know it.
He is never going to give us Chipotle because you're putting him on
You're right.
blast.
You're right. He's never gonna give us Chipotle.
You
He's
catch
never gonna give us Chipotle.
you're gonna catch like you catch more flies with honey than you do with vinegar. Eric and the Chipotle cards being the flies. You know, like, would I have liked the Chipotle cards? Hell yeah. But I'm not gonna like track him down and beat his face and like with my retractable baton. Hey fucker, where's my barbacoa? Ah! Nah, I wouldn't do that.
This is, I don't know if you know this, but this is honey. If you want to see vinegar, I can show you vinegar. This is honey. Okay.
Uh, I, I felt I thought it was a nice offer. I didn't necessarily I didn't feel entitled to the
Jeff, you're losing the comedic effect
oh
of Eric not giving us Chipotle free freaking Chipotle card.
yeah, Eric. I thought Mormons were supposed to be truthful.
Well, if
Wait, is he
if
Mormon?
it's one thing, if we know Jeff Crenshaw's acting is never gonna save him in any instance whatsoever.
Hey, don't insult my acting. I'll have Bobby beat you up.
Hey, oh, look at Jeff.
I'm gonna tell my
Okay.
girlfriend on you.
Hey, you guys, if hey podcast listeners, if you want to play a drinking story, take a shot every time Jeff mentions Bobby.
Bobby, 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 Bobby.
And you know what? That's still only a tenth of the times. No, I'm kidding. So
Yeah,
tell us
you're
about.
giving me shit
Tell us
because I refer to her as Bobylicious.
Hey, well, I mean, I think she gives you shit for that too, because that's the most ridiculous nickname I've ever heard.
It's amazing. It works
She
so well.
deserves. She deserves better than Bobblicious, female companion, and what's
Those
the
are,
other one? There's another one.
I'm not allowed to say it in public.
Oh, okay. I know that one. I think there's another one though. We'll call that the nickname that shall not be named, and I do know it. And let me tell you, if you can get us to 500 followers on Instagram, I will say it on this podcast. So, Eric, you and all the people at Chipotle, if you listen to it, and you follow us on Instagram, I will say the nickname that I will burn that bridge for the sake of social media dominance. Anyway, so
Did you
Bobby,
break the heart of Babita?
Okay, that's the fourth one, Babita. So we got Bobbylicious. We got what's it, Bobolita. Fuck, what's the other one? Female companion. Hashtag female companion.
Hey,
I
I happen to prefer that to girlfriend, and it's like pretty much a synonym.
Jeff?
Yeah.
No. So
Pardon me if our dynamic is unique.
Tell all of our friends. Yeah. No, Jeff, your dynamic is unique.
Yeah, our dynamic is unique.
Yeah, your dynamic is unique. Jeff posting a picture of himself dressed up for Halloween as a woman with lipstick for International Women's Day. Jeff, your dynamic. Jeff, your dynamic is unique. Anyway,
pardon me for paying tribute.
Tell us about the great Bobby and how much you love her so. Please go.
Well, she's a very, very swell gal. She's a teacher, evidently a beloved teacher. Because she's a middle school teacher, and she's been one for like 7 years, and she has students that are like in high school that still email her. Which when I was in high school, like I was like, I moved beyond middle school. That was like my rearview mirror. But she has kids that apparently look back and email her and like talk about shit, and like she's never told me like what they talk about. She just says how it makes her feel good to be able to be uh there, the understanding ear, so to speak.
Yeah.
And she also says that she loves her students, like every single student she's ever had. She loves them. And if like she found out they were hungry or something, she'd feed them. Like she has a fridge in her classroom that she uses to feed like her students if they're hungry or something, and they don't have to be current students. She would feed them too if she ever heard they were hungry. She would like heart of gold, heart of
Yeah.
gold.
Wow. Seriously, like honestly, you could end there and that would be literally all anyone would need to know about the type of person that Bobby is because
Yeah,
she gives off that feeling. The first time I met her, she became a good friend of mine. And I feel that way genuinely. So she's a really
good.
good person. That's really cool to hear that because
She told me she's been
um
like talking to you a bit, and she's like, especially Alishava. Apparently, she and Alishava have been talking a lot.
yeah, well, hey, and I think we're gonna have a four-way pretty soon too. So it'll be a good time to get
Yeah, we were talking
closer
about
and
having like a pizza movie night one of these days soon.
yeah, that's gonna be that'll be fun. So but I imagine as a teacher, that's kind of like the ultimate compliment
Oh,
is like
hearing from the students.
if a yeah, if a kid's gone on to high school or gone on, whatever, but they still are wanting to keep contact with you. I would think that's a pretty cool thing to have happen. I mean, I think anyone would want that to be the case if they were in a position where they were helping teach someone or mold the leaders of tomorrow. So that's pretty awesome.
She she has a super super kind heart. And like, I'm not gonna go into any of the uh details here because it's not necessary. But there was a little while back, there was a period of time where like Ben and I weren't talking to each other for like a week and a half. It turned out to be just a stupid misunderstanding. But every single fucking day that we weren't talking, Bobby was like, "Have you and Ben talked yet?" And we're like, "No, we're not talking." And, like, and then the next day, "Oh, that makes me so sad that you're not talking. Do you think you're gonna talk again?" And like, "Oh, I'm sure we will, but we're not yet." And, oh, I'm so sad. Like it wasn't just like a performative uh um it wasn't like performative to impress me, like, look at me, I care about you. She actually fucking like cared. She's like, it hurts my heart that you're not talking to Ben, he's your buddy. And I'm like, well, it's not like we're not going to ever talk again. We will, we're just like in a fight right now. And like when we patched things up, I told her, and she's like, yay. Like she was like almost like she's it was like through messenger, like, hey, Ben and I are good now, we talked shit through. And she's like, yeah, I'm so glad. And she was like genuinely happy, and at that point she hadn't met you yet.
One, that's really sweet. That's awesome. See, it's like it's like she was rooting for us in the Super Bowl and we won.
Yes.
Um, two, the reason why we weren't talking is because Jeff tried to come over to my house in the middle of the pandemic to use my bathroom, and I told him that he couldn't, and he shit on my deck. He just straight up, he shit on my deck in the middle of my neighborhood. It was 11 p.m. at night. Probably other neighbors were out smoking or something, but he just straight up shit on my deck. And
Then
so
I
I told him he had to apologize for shitting on my deck, and he flat out refused to apologize. So
then
ultimately,
after that, I broke into your house and I started ripping the beer signs off your wall and throwing them down the ground.
Jeff, there are no beer signs on my wall because my former roommate told me I couldn't have them. So I don't know what you're talking about. And
Ah,
damn it, I just looked in my wallet just to see. I still don't have free Chipotle cards in there. What the fuck? I thought maybe somehow they would end up in there, but oh well.
Oh, you said wallet. I want to. Yesterday, like, uh, I
Speaking of wallet,
speaking of
sorry.
wallet.
Oh, wait. This is an announcement. Everyone must put down your phones. You must put on your blanket, cuddle up next to a fire. Jeff Crenshaw is going to give us his wallet story in 3, 2, 1, go.
That was quite an introduction. Thank you. Well, you, yesterday was a mid shift day, and usually when I have a mid shift, it's like that's like a 12 to 4, maybe sometimes 12 to 5. This was a different kind of mid shift. This was 5 to close, like 5 to 9.
You hear
So,
that? That was a different kind of mid shift. 5 to 9. Different mid shift than the normal mid shift. Okay, continue, Jeff.
well, well, I only say that because it gave me more time earlier in the day to like go out and do stuff. Usually, usually before work, I don't really do anything because I have time to wake up adequately and like get ready and go to work. But I had more time to myself to do things. So I went out and like did stuff, and I'll go into more detail on that a little bit later, on one of the things at least. But I decided I wanted to like I should probably go to work, so I summoned a lift, and guy named Romulus, like as in like Romulus and Remus, but his name was Romulus. He picked me up in this white RAV4, and he took me to Freddy's, dropped me off at the stop sign near the employee entrance, which is where I usually get off, and then I walked across the street to the employee entrance, and the way I get in is I hold my wallet up to the scanner, and inside my wallet there's a card that it it'll set off the scanner, so it'll unlock the Fred Meyer door for me, and I'll walk in, and that's how I get to work. I'm pretty sure the card has personal information that gets scanned into a computer somewhere, that so it registers when I come and go. Well, the card didn't do shit because I didn't have it on me. I realized my wallet was gone. So I turn around, I go back across the street. I look, I should have did that after the fact, but at first I called 7-Eleven because that's the last place I had used my wallet. Hey, do you by chance have you seen a wallet? I think I may have left it there. And the clerk said, "Oh, no, we don't see any wallet." I said, "Oh shit, well, thanks anyway." And I hung up, and I'm freaking out. Uh, I'm starting to freak out, and I'm like, I go back to my ride history, and I find Romulus, and there's like an option, recover lost item, and so I click that, and there's an option to contact the driver, so I do that, and it gives me a number to contact him. I sent a message. I think I left my wallet in your car, and then I sent another message. I'm the guy who dropped off at the Fred Meyer, and I told him which one. If you could please bring the wallet to the customer service desk, I'd be grateful. Send it to him, and I don't get a reply, and I'm starting to freak out. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch, what's he gonna do? And uh, I'm getting nervous. I eventually have to go inside and clock in, and I don't know. I wrap some dude's like chicken breasts. I'm pacing around, but I can't focus. So I grab my phone and I go off to an employee restroom, and I lock myself in, and I call the 7-Eleven chick again, and I said, "Hey, has the wallet turned up by chance?" And she's she says no, and then I I go back and I can't figure out how to call Romulus, but then I realized this temporary phone number that Lyft left me. Oh, I can also be used to reach Romulus, and so I like by phone. So I called. I thought it was just like a messaging thing, but I called him, and he's like, "Hello," like thick, like European accent. And I said, "Hey, Romulus, is this Romulus? This is Romulus." And I'm like, "Hey, Romulus, I think I left my wallet in your car." And he said, "I'll be at the Fred Meyer customer service in 3 minutes." Like 3 minutes, yeah. So I make a mad dash out of the employee bathroom. It's like in the receiving area in the corner in the back of the store, and I walk through the aisles to the front, and there he is. And I'm like, "Oh man, you're my hero." And he's like, "God bless you, sir. And you'll be in my prayers tonight." And he gave me the wallet. And thank God, that's like one of the. I usually don't carry cash in my wallet because I just don't like to do that. But thank God I had a few 20s in there. I gave him one of the 20s for going through that trouble, because you think about Lyft drivers is like they have to like constantly be driving. They probably are constantly driving. That's how they make their money. And the fact that he took time out of his day to drive back to the store, and not only that, he got out of his car and came into the store with my wallet to return it to me. I thought, God damn it, here's like $20. That's like roughly what probably more, a little more honestly, than he would make from a Lyft ride and a tip that time of day, but he fucking deserved it. Like, saved me.
Romulus. Romulus, eh?
Romulus.
You
I
think
love
his
that name, by
brother's
the way.
named Remus?
Huh?
You think his brother's named Remus?
I would hope so.
I mean, obviously, I bet his brother's named Remus. I don't think you name one of your kids Romulus if you don't have another brother to name a Remus. But I don't know if I've ever told this story on a podcast before. Jeff, you'd probably know if I did or if I didn't. Um, my Memphis story.
I don't remember for sure, honestly. I haven't listened to them in a while, or most of them in a while.
That gap in response time was Jeff Grenshaw's mind working overtime to try to understand what I meant by saying Memphis story. But um
I thought it was the IC story at first.
the oh well, that's a great story too. But well, that's that's a smaller story. But because of what you just went through, I will recount my time when I went to Memphis by myself for a week. I was staying just over the bridge that was next to West Memphis, Arkansas. Not the greatest Super 8 motel in the world. I've since realized that when you go to stay in places, stay at nice hotels. That way you don't have issues with bed bugs or feeling like you're going to die in one or 50 different reasons. This same hotel had a police chase on foot happen right outside my door. But anyways, I was in kind of a weirder area of town, and I love Memphis, by the way. But there are some parts of it that are probably not best for me to go, and we'll just leave it at that. But it was probably my second night there, and what I started to realize is when I was there, Memphis, at least during the weekday, didn't really have much nightlife, if you will. So restaurants that are open particularly late, things to do later at night. And I was by myself. And I kind of was bored hanging out in the hotel room. I kind of was a little hungry, maybe wanted to do something. So I decided I was going to drive to Mississippi. I don't remember the name of the town, but there's a little area in Mississippi where there's a whole bunch of casinos. They call it like the down south Vegas or whatever. There's just several different resorts and big Vegas style casinos. And so I drove there. I thought, you know what, I'll go check it out. That'll be fun. I'm sure there'll be something to eat there, and then I can, gamble a little bit and come back home. Felt like I did something this evening. So I drive all the way there. It's about 40 minutes from my hotel to Mississippi, from Memphis. And
Not a bad
I
drive.
get there. No, not a bad drive. Portland to Beaverton on a kind of rush hour traffic type day. Um, but I had a Quiznos. Their food shop was open, so they had a Quiznos. So get Quiznos time. Remember those commercials? They got a
No,
pepper bar. The little like chipmunk thingies. You
like
remember those?
what the fuck?
Ones?
What was that? Flash animation? Like they were like cut out like hamsters that looked like they were mutilated by 6 school children.
Whatever the fuck it was, it must have worked because 20 years later, and I can't stop thinking about it every day of my entire fucking life.
You know what
But anyways,
what I still think
what?
about? Brief detour, because it also reminds. I think about the fucking blockbuster guinea pigs, voiced by Jim Belushi and James Woods, like the most random fucking thing on earth. Do you remember those?
I never knew they were voiced by Jim Belushi and James Woods. Are you kidding me?
Go back, like after we record this, go back, look up blockbuster guinea pigs, and you'll hear it clear as day. Look,
Whoa.
I'm a maniac, maniac. That one's Jim Belushi, and like the more reserved one is James Woods. I think
Wow.
James Woods was a rabbit, and
Wow.
Jim Belushi was the guinea pig. I don't know, but back to the
Wow.
Mississippi story.
I don't think I need to finish the story. It's not going to get better than that. Finding out that Jim Belushi and James Woods were at a point in their career where they would voice house animals for the sake of the VHS rental chain, Blockbuster. Anyways, so I had a Quiznos sub. I gambled a little bit, not too much. I mean, I probably put like $20 bill in the slot machine. Whatever. I took some pictures, soaked it in for an hour plus, and decided I'd drive back home and go to bed so I can get up and go to Graceland the next day. And so drove all the way back home. And I go to get out of the car, and you get out of the car, you make sure you got your phone, wallet, keys. And I got my phone, check. Got my keys, check. Where's my wallet? Huh. I proceed to take the next 25 minutes to check every damn nook and cranny in my car. My butt crack, my glove compartment, the ground outside my car, my hotel room. Wait, why did I check my hotel room? I bought the sandwich at Quiznos oh my God, did I leave it in the casino? No. And I'm like, oh my God, did I leave it on top of my car? Where did it? I walked all the way around that damn fucking casino. It's like a Vegas casino. So I was like, shit. So I decided, oh my God, I gotta drive back. This is my second day in Memphis. I'm by myself. My money, my cards, my ID, my plane tickets, everything is in that wallet. And I'm
You
like,
would have been
fuck.
pretty fucking fucked, dude. Like like if you hadn't gotten.
Are you
Well,
gonna
I'm a,
spoil my fucking story for me? Are you gonna spoil my damn story for
if
all
you
these
hadn't
great
gotten
listeners?
AIDS.
If I had everyone has AIDS, my grandma and my dog old blue. All right. Um, so I drive all the way back there. And this whole time, keep in mind, no wallet, no ID, no driver's license, no money. That 40 minutes was amongst some of the scariest, most intense second guessing of my entire existence that I've ever gone through. I was so scared. I'm hoping that I wouldn't get pulled over, but yet somehow driving faster than I should have to get back in hopes that my wallet would be found. So I remembered where I parked. I drove up to it, nothing, no wallet on the ground. Well, shit. Now I have to retrace my steps. So I'm running like a madman. And I get to the front of the casino door, and there's the same security guard that was there when I was there. I said, "Oh my gosh, I think I may have left my wallet. It might have fallen out. Have you seen anything?" And the guy looks dead into my soul with his eyes. And he kind of like tilts his head. And then he doesn't talk for a little bit. And I'm like, I don't, what, what's going on here? I don't understand this.
You know what that sounds
He goes,
uh, like your description so far. I don't want me to cut your story off, but I have to share this mental image. Like the way you're describing this guy looking at you sounds like how Mississippi people look at black people in the movies.
yeah, no, this is how a black guy looks at a fat white guy who's running with his pants almost falling down up to him, saying, "My wallet, my wallet."
Oh,
Um,
was this guy a black guy?
yes, he was a black guy. I only felt the need to say that because you made the joke that you made. I didn't really feel that that was important. This man was a black, by the way. I'll have you know, the
Mississippi
man
yearning
that
for a
served
wallet.
me, the man that served me my Quiznos and put the peppers upon thy salami was a black woman as well, for
Ooh,
your information. All right. Anyways,
I have a
my
black
fiance,
customer service representative friend.
my my fiance is gonna fucking listen to this and probably bop me over the head.
Does she listen to our podcast?
I don't think no, I don't think she does. I think I'd have to give her money in order for her to do that. I think she listens to our podcasts in the way that every time we hang out, we go on an hour diatribe talking about nothing in the middle of a movie, and she pretty much gets the same effect. Um, but so the guy looked at me and he said, go to security inside. And I was like, what? And he's like, we just security picked up a wallet and they took it back to their office. You go in there. And I was like, holy shit, seriously? Like I did not expect this at all. When you're in that moment, like you're like, oh fuck. You, I just felt like I was gonna have to do everything to try to find it, and I probably wasn't gonna find it. And he gave me all these directions, and I remember the directions were like, turn left here, walk all the way down here, then go all the way down there, do a roundabout, but don't go to the left, go to the right around the roundabout and make the second left on the right turn. And then like there was a segment where he was like, pop it, pull it, hit it. And I was like, what? Like I don't understand. And then I get all the way there, and the whole time I'm like, oh my god, 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 oh my god. It's like freaking out. And I remember like opening this door, which looked like I shouldn't go in there because it looked like the door to where all the employees at this place had their like little break room or something. And I walked down this corridor, and as I opened it up, walking, looking, I see this security guy that's like near this little like those like uh windows. It's like a door, but like it's like a half of a window, so like somebody might be standing at it. Sometimes if you go into post office they have them. He was there and holding up the wallet in his hand the entire time as I'm walking to him, and I'm like, oh, and like, so he pulls out my ID to give it to me. He's like, what's your name? And I told him my name, told him my
Ruby
date
Tucker.
of birth. Yeah, right. No, I'm like, hi, name is Bobby Kidd. No,
Hey,
Ben Eastman, and I told him whatever, and obviously it confirmed that it indeed was me. And I get it, and I'm just like, holy shit! Thank God this happened. Thank God. Apparently, a security guard drives around to make sure things are going okay in the parking lot. I'm sure, sometimes there's crazy people out there. Sometimes people drop their wallet. Well, I dropped my wallet. It must have fallen out, and he saw it, and they picked it up and gave it to security. Or actually, no. Well, okay, because now I'm getting ahead of myself. Someone actually found it and gave it to that person that patrols. That's where I'm getting lost here. So someone had it like while they're out there. Hey, I found this wallet on the ground. Gave it to the security. They drove it back to security because on the way out, I look and I'm looking, and I actually didn't have cash with me at that time, but all my cards were in there. But there was cash. There was $20 worth of cash in the wallet that was not there before. I guarantee you that because I didn't carry cash with me on that trip. I just decided each day I'd go get money from the bank so that I could use that day.
Right. I forgot
And
someone.
he goes, the guy, like as I'm walking away down the corridor, the guy goes, "Oh yeah, the guy that gave it to us says he left you a little something in there," and it was a $20 bill he gave to me. So
Wow.
this guy in Mississippi found my wallet, probably realized that I was shitting bricks one way or another because he probably saw it was an Oregon license plate, and decided to put money into the wallet. And I walked away with $20 more from a casino.
Now
So
that's
yeah,
like the best, most like enduring version of what they call Southern hospitality.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So the moral of the story, folks, is never let your wallets out of your sight.
That reminds me of that in turn reminds me of a story. This one, I'll make this one brief. Uh,
Are you saying my story wasn't brief?
no, well, we both told pretty lengthy stories.
Was it boxer or brief?
That fell flat, Benjamin. Shame on you.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. Continue.
uh, I was 11 years old, and my mom decided like to take me along for this trip to Las Vegas, and I got money. I had money in my wallet. Obviously, it would have been gift money because I wasn't working a job yet when I was 11. But I had money in my wallet to spend in Las Vegas for souvenirs or whatever. And we get on the plane, we get to Vegas, and my wallet's just gone. So like other people are buying me stuff or whatever, because they feel bad because I'm a kid who lost his wallet. And yeah, enjoy the trip. I like I'm all worried for a little bit because the wallet's gone, but nothing I can do. So whatever. We get back uh, to Portland, uh, grab our luggage, and we're going out to the parking lot. And we're about to get in the car. We noticed that the gas tank door is propped open a little bit. Someone had stuffed my wallet into the gas tank door. It must have fallen out right next to the car. And someone just picked it up and put it like behind the little like flap thing. And it was slightly propped open. But yes, it was just left there. And that's fucking cool.
Oh my gosh, this could be the never-ending podcast because now that reminds me of like the craziest thing that just happened to Alicia, my fiance, and I uh last time we went to Astoria. So
Oh my
literally
God, what happened?
we're driving, and you know a little bit about it, but I don't think I explained it all to you because it was not. We didn't realize this till days later that this is what this was, but how crazy.
I'm
So
curious now.
check engine light. I told you about that, right?
Yes, and that's all you told me.
So we were literally like the night of us going down there. We haven't even spent the night yet. But that night the check engine line came on in the car. And we were like, shit. Like, 'cause we're an hour and a half away. And obviously check engine lights are never good, but especially if you're on a trip, we're like, well, fuck, what's gonna happen now? So we were kind of nervous as to why it was. So Alicia's dad got her this really cool gift where you can plug it into this part of your car that's under your steering wheel, and it will tell you the code of error of what may be causing your check engine light. It's a cool tool I've seen done before. I didn't even
How
know
the hell
she
does
had
that
one.
work?
It's so your systems run on a computer, and this like gets into the computer, and it has a list of codes. So, but it's not like voila, it's finished. Like it's kind of more a thing to narrow down what it could be.
Oh,
So
so
that way,
eliminate
like,
some things based on.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. It's like an elimination thing, essentially. And sometimes it's like,
it's
oh
not a
yeah, it's
belt
definitely
problem.
this. Yeah, not a problem. Well, and I think it's good peace of mind, especially for women who aren't comfortable like going. Well, and men too, but especially having spoken to women who aren't comfortable going to mechanics, and being like, my car is having this issue, and then like the mechanic's like, yeah, well, you need to do a system flush and all this, and here's the bill. It's $5,000. No, but
What you need is
um,
a good dick. I mean, sorry, go on.
Jeff, um, you you need to make love to a kid. All right.
Hey,
So
now that's
the
crossing the line, sir.
we put in the little computer thing, and it gave a code. And I was like, well, let's drive back to the hotel. So it's there, and we'll try to figure it out what's going on. So it gave her a code, and she was kind of Googling what it could be. Um, and she said, oh, well, apparently this code can sometimes mean that there's a leak, potentially a gas leak. And I was like, "Well, oh, okay, that's weird." So we moved, and I didn't see any gas under the car. That's kind of weird. Um, but maybe
No, I have another
um,
story to tell after this.
she
Go
goes,
on.
she goes, there may be maybe the gas cap's not put on or something like that. And I was like, oh, well, that would be a weird thing, but yeah, I'll go check on that. That's something easy to do. So I go out there to open the gas cap, and I press the button, and I hear the click, but the gas cap won't open. Or like the gas, like not the cap, but the compartment, the little door. And I'm like, oh well, shit. And I tried pressing it a few times, and obviously it's not like one of those ones you can push in and opens up. It's like mechanical. So I kept on pressing it, nothing. It just wasn't opening. So I thought I'd use my fingers a little bit to try and pry it open. Maybe it was stuck. Nope, that wasn't working. And I'm thinking, oh shit. One, we need gas to get home. Two, I'm starting to think this is all connected in one way because it's weird that the code that would come up would be a thing that possibly could have to do with the gas being leaked. And now the gas door is not opening up.
Hmm.
I'm like thinking like it has to be connected in one way or another. And I go back in, I'm like, I can't get the gas thing open. She's like, what? I'm like, I can't get it open. I seriously cannot get it open. I just tried for like 15 minutes, and I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, could you maybe like try to come out here with me? And she's like, okay. So she comes out, because I was thinking I couldn't really like press the button and hold it and open it at the same time, with just myself. And so I asked her to do it because I figured maybe I could figure it out if I could hold it and open it up. Maybe that might help. So
Two
I had
better
her
twos are
hold it.
better than one.
Yeah, I had her open it. I took like an old key for something I didn't need and stuck it in and tried to open it, and then it flipped open. And one, the gas cap wasn't even on to where it clicked. So the gas cap wasn't fully on. And two, the little wire that connects the little cap was wrapped around the thing because the person who last put it on there, like, literally just shoved it in there and closed the door. And so it had locked, it had like locked the thing from opening up correctly. And so yeah, voila. The
How
thing
do you
is
even?
the
That
they
sounds like effort was put into that for that to have happened. Like, how does that even
yeah,
happen?
and the thing is the check engine light didn't go off for days afterwards. So we thought, okay, well at least we got that figured out, but hopefully it ended up being that's what was the issue was that
So the gas cap was
when you
both
put
on too tight and not even on at all.
yeah, so no, the gas cap was like not on because you kind of yeah when you put it on you have to like you have to turn it till it clicks and locks in. Well, they just like put it on, and the way that they put it on, the little wire was like tied around the the little notch on the door. It was yeah, whatever. Who knows? Whatever the fuck happened, but it ended up being that that was indeed the issue why the light came on. But we were like, holy crap. Like that made me think of that when you said that the wallet was stuck in the door.
Right. Now, this story made me think of another story. It's like we have story fucking ping pong, and like we're each reacting off of the previous story. Like, oh, there you go. Here now, back at you. And like so far, we've hit each other's balls like consistently. Okay, that sounded weird, but you know what I mean. You know the analogy.
I think we've been hitting each other's balls consistently for years, Jeff. Bobby, your turn.
Bubblicious. Mm, the
No Bobalicious. No, I don't condone it.
That is her nickname, Benjamin.
My body, my choice. I don't condone hearing you say Bobalicious.
Hey, she's my Bobby.
No. Oh, okay. Yes, she is your Bobby.
And
That is
she's also
true.
her family's Bobby. Anyway,
I I didn't know how to respond to that. I was I okay.
I've been like I've started like spending some like time with her in Dallas, like it's where she lives. Like it's about 50 miles south of here. Uh, Nice little place. Like it's kind of a bedroom community, what you might say. Um, there's like a giant grain silo that you can see from her front door. That's pretty cool. Anyway, we, the basic tradition is when I have to work the next day, she'll give me a ride home and drop me off at night and stuff, and then she'll go back to Dallas and yada yada yada. You know, uh, it was nighttime. I threw my stuff into her car. We were on our way out of Dallas, and we were just talking in the car. And she drives a Kia Soul, and kind of low to the ground, you know. Uh, and we're just talking, and just out of nowhere, there's like a flash of red, and I noticed there's only enough time for me to tell that it's a gas can, and I don't know if it's full. I don't know what the situation is with this thing, but all I know is I see it, and it turns out Bobby saw it too for just a second or so, and then there's a and after that there's this the car is shaking, and there's this ungodly scraping sound underneath the car, and like and I'm like, shit, you should pull over. She's like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, Jeff. And she pulls over, and we get out of the car.
Wait, why does Bobby sound like your mother right there?
Please don't say that.
Your impersonation sounded like spot on.
Uh, that, that's deeply alarming to me. But like
I'd rather be with a kid than with my mother.
uh, actually, before we get out of the car, like we both start smelling gasoline, and I'm like, oh shit. I wonder if any spilled. I wonder what the situation is, and I wasn't sure if there was this thing just like gushing like gasoline
Yeah.
underneath. I don't know if maybe the gas can had like ruptured a fuel line on the car itself. So, and I was like, Bob, we need to get out of the car. And we get out of the car and we're looking at it, and I'm trying to figure out what to do. There's a steady stream of oncoming traffic, or not oncoming, but like traffic in the lane that we were traveling in, and there's just like whoosh, 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 like headlight after headlight, and with occasional breaks in the flow. There'll be like maybe 50, 30 seconds without a car, and then suddenly there's headlights on the horizon, and it's dark outside. We're like out in the middle of the fucking country. Uh, on the street itself wasn't gravel, but the shoulder definitely was, and like I remember the scraping of the gas can against the gravel shoulder. And I'm like, Bobby, you gotta stop. She's like, I'm stopping, Jack. But we both get out, and like Bobby's like standing pretty close to like the fucking lane of the road, and you're like, Bobby, what are you doing? There's cars. And she's like, Jeff, you need to relax. You're being grumpy. And like, yeah, I'm being grumpy. but but we stand back, and she's like, I'm gonna call my daddy. So she calls her dad. and I didn't know this, but apparently he told her like to go sit inside of the car, which seemed like a bad idea to me because of the gasoline. We didn't know exactly what the situation was, and we needed to figure out like what was happening. And this fucking gas can is wedged like under the car. She at one point she got back in the car like, what are you doing? Like, I'm gonna try and get the gas can off. And so she tries reversing the car, and all she does is like drag the gas can across the ground. And then I'm like, Bobby, stop, stop. And so she's staying in the car, and I'm like a few feet away, and I could still smell the gas pretty strongly. And I'm trying to get her attention, but she's like not seeing me. I'm like, Bobby, you gotta just get out of the car, Bobby. Like she's texting her father, and I'm like, I'm concerned because I don't know how, like, the situation ended up being perfectly fine and safe, but I didn't know that for sure at the time. So like she had bought me a Coke because she is extremely kind and generous. Like, but I had finished it, and she wasn't like hearing me like she wasn't hearing me like trying to call her like, Bobby, come on, get out of the car. And like I didn't want to go near the car, so I took like I took the lid off the cup, and I just flung the ice, and it hit the windshield. She was fucking pissed. And
Oh my God, Jeff.
I've yet to hear the end
This
of it
is
from her.
like listening to someone. This is like listening to someone explain what they saw during a train wreck.
she's she's given me she's given me a lot of shit over it. Like she stopped recently, but now she's gonna start again because it's in the podcast. But but she gets says like, Jeffrey, what did you do that for? And I said, well, you didn't hear me, and I didn't want to go near the car. I was like, Jeffrey, that's not okay. And oh, well, I'm sorry. And uh
She called you Jeffrey.
she calls me Jeffrey sometimes.
Whoa.
So
That's when you know she really is your mother.
Benjamin, if you make another joke like that again, I'm gonna make you stand in the corner.
What, are you gonna crap on my deck again?
For the record, that never happened. That was a joke.
Oh, okay, yeah. Play it off like it was a joke. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Any, anyway, like her her dad like sends her text. Well, you should try to pull out the gas can, and I'm thinking, like, is this dude kidding? Like, she's driven forward with this thing trapped. She's reversed with this thing trapped. Like, no way I can just reach under and pull it out. And I'm also nervous to get under because it's when I'm facing the front of the car, it's on the right side of the car, like right next to the wheel. And there's a constant fucking like almost constant cars passing. And but she's like, uh, Daddy thinks this is the best way to go. And I'm like, okay, I'll try, like just to say we tried. And so I get down on my knees. I said, okay, let me know if any more cars come. She's like, I will. And so I get down. I grab a hold of the gas can, and I pull, and it was the easiest fucking thing to like pull out. It came right out from under the car, like no trouble. So I wondered why it was stuck under the car when we were like going, I don't know, 40 miles an hour, and why when she tried reversing it didn't budge. But all I had to do was grab it and just tug it slightly. The world doesn't make sense. Anyway, we
Baby, I get down on my knees for you. That gas can came off so dang easy, I couldn't believe it.
we were concerned
You're
though.
trying hard not to show it, Bobby. But
Ah,
Bobby, you know it.
you're
I'm
gonna
gonna
wake up
show
Alicia.
you every movie. Bobby, I'm gonna show you every movie. Oh, Bobby, I'm gonna show you all the movies. Oh, oh. But first, let me throw ice on your windshield.
The thing about Bobby that's fun showing her movies, I think she's only slightly more what's the word, experienced with movies than Alicia was when you started like showing her stuff. Because Alicia like had almost seen like nothing, and Bobby's not too far like past that. She's seen a few movies and stuff, but like there's a lot she hasn't seen, so it's fun. Like, hey, watch this, and getting her the first time reaction to movies that I've seen, like getting the first time reaction of someone else of movies I've seen like countless times. There's something deeply satisfying about that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, why do you think we're not friends anymore? Because I like showing Alicia the movies that I love that she hasn't seen before, and it's more fun than hanging out with you. No, I'm kidding. But no,
But
but
hang
yeah,
out.
exactly. Like I love being like, babe, this movie's The Thing by John Carpenter, and she's like,
Oh,
oh, I've never heard of it, and you show it, and she's like, that was fucking awesome, and that's a
oh
good
my
feeling
God.
when you show people like that that didn't even know this existed. I will say, I don't think Bobby's here yet, but I just gave Alicia a handmade paperweight that is the creature from the movie Basket Case. And when I gave it to her, I recorded her reaction,
Uh-huh.
and it was probably the greatest gift receiving reaction I have ever gotten before.
Ooh.
And I will say, if Bobby can react that way to the creature from Basket Case, well, then I guess we should all just marry each other. Because that was and I'm sure she would love Basket Case in all the wrong ways that I
I
like
don't
it
think
too. But
I don't think I've seen Basket Case.
it's about a guy who has a brother who is let's just say pint size with a penchant for flesh that he keeps in a basket. he keeps his brother
Oh,
in a basket. Hence the title, Basket Case.
it's like a demented Simon Birch.
Yeah, without Ashley Judd dying from a baseball. Did I spoil that? Was that it? What's what happened in Simon Birch? It's been so many years
Like
since
Simon
I've
Birch,
seen
like
that.
it's like this great pivotal scene because Simon Birch is never picked to play the team because he's such a tiny little boy. But then finally he gets this big moment and he like hits the ball and the ball like strikes his friend's mom in the temple. And there's a scene where he's like alone walking down the street, like squealing, I'm sorry.
But he
And
also had like a huge crush on her too, right?
I
I
haven't
haven't
seen,
seen that movie in years.
I don't think like, I think like if we had like 1,000 people, well, we won't, but if we had 1,000 people listening to this, I bet 90% of them wouldn't know, wouldn't like remember that Simon Birch was a thing. Oh,
I just got
to
a
wrap up the
text.
story real quick. So,
Okay.
what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say I just got a text from Alicia. I think no more opera singing at almost 1 a.m. Uh,
Yeah, I told you, and now you're laughing like a hyena. She's gonna send you another text, dude.
I I think the way that she sent the text was funny. She's like, I think no more opera singing at almost 1 a.m. It wasn't that she said no more opera singing or
I
no more
think
opera
no
singing at
more.
1 a.m. It was I think no more. It's the confidence or lack thereof that make it funny to me. All right. Continue your story.
Well, just wrapping up. Even after we took the gas can out, we still smelled gas, and the car was running, but we were still concerned there might be like a small leak in the fuel line or something. So we drove it to her parents' house, and her dad came out, and he's like, "Yeah, your car's probably fine because there's at the bottom of Souls they have like a shield plating that protects like all the components of the car. It's like it looks like a cookie sheet was bolted underneath the car basically." And so he took a look. Yeah, it's fine. So we left, and like eventually the gas smell dissipated, and that's the end. I posted a picture of the gas can on Instagram like the next day, and she replied with ice cube emojis.
I saw that picture of the gas can, but I didn't know what to think of it, and I wasn't talking to you because you shit on my deck. But now I'll go back and see those ice cubes. And I think really this is a good note to finish the latest edition of Rock and Roll
Specialists.
And I want to thank you for tuning in. This has been Ben Eastman
and Jeff Crenshaw.
Thank you for listening.
Down.